The next type of probability that we're going to talk about is called the OR probabilities with what we call mutually exclusive events. And I've underlined mutually exclusive, and you want to do that within your notes as well. First, we're going to talk about what mutually exclusive is. Mutually exclusive are two things that cannot happen at the same time. So if two things cannot happen at the same time, they're called mutually exclusive. Example of mutually exclusive events could be rolling a 5 that is also a 2. If you're rolling a dice, you could either roll a 5 or a 2. There's no such thing of rolling a 5 and a 2 at the same time. Or picking up a red card that is also a black card. That could be another example. There is a formula that we're going to use for OR probabilities with mutually exclusive events. You want to make sure that you pause this and have all this stuff copied down. It says the probability of A or B happening, so we could say like 5 or 6, okay, equals the probability of A happening plus the probability of B happening. Okay, so if we want to roll a 5 or 2, it'd be the probability of rolling a 5 and then the probability of rolling a 2, and we would add those two together. So let's look at example 1. Example 1 says, if one card is randomly selected from a deck of cards, what is the probability of the selecting a king or a queen? So we would set this up in our formula, and it would be the probability of getting a king or a queen. So to use this formula, remember it's the probability of A plus the probability of B. So we want to figure out the probability of selecting a king, and we want to figure out the probability of selecting a queen. I know that these are mutually exclusive because I can't select a king that's also a queen. So how many kings are there in the deck of cards? 4. Out of how many cards altogether? 52. Plus, how many queens are in the deck? 4. Out of how many cards altogether? 52. So 4 over 52 plus 4 over 52 gives us 8 over 52. Most of the time we will reduce our fractions. Sometimes you might not see your reduced fraction as an answer choice, so just use the non-reduced fraction. And this will reduce to 2 over 13. So now copy down question number 2. Again, pause the video and try question number 2 on your own before you move on. Question number 2 says, you roll a dice, what is the probability of getting a 4 or a 5? So we want the probability of a 4 or 5. So the probability of a 4 plus the probability of a 5. So probability of the 4 on the dice, well, there is 1 4 out of 6 sides altogether, plus 1 5 and 6 sides altogether, equals 2 6, which reduces to 1/3.